Hello, it's me, Julian. Welcome to my channel. My hair is such a mess. She greasy. It is October, which means it is spoopy time. So in today, since it's the month of October and it's spooky time, and I'll be feeling the spoopiness and the creepiness of this month, I want to tell two stories, one that is scary and one that is funny. Let's get started. I remember when I was little, I was probably, I want to say maybe like 7 years old. Yeah, let's say 7. When I used to live in my old house, that was a long time ago. It was a semi. This was during the day, for sure. And I was with my childhood friend at the time. And we were playing, I don't know what we were playing. Maybe hide and seek, I don't know. It was a game. And this was in the basement of the house. The basement was, it wasn't creepy. It was just honestly a basement. I didn't think like anything of it. So we were playing our game, having fun. I had to close my window because there was too much sound happening outside. Anyways, our game in the basement, having fun as kids should be doing. And the lights were turned out. I think my friend turned out the lights. And I don't remember much because it was a long time ago. My memory is not the best, or maybe I just blocked it out. Who knows? The lights were turned out, and he was at the door in the basement. So we had an entrance in the basement. Basically, you would go down the stairs and you would turn left and basement area. And it was, a pretty decent basement. It wasn't like that big, but it was a good amount of space. We had like the dryer. We had 2 closets, one dryer and like the other first space. I'm pretty sure we had a closet, and we had also a space for my dad's workshop. So my friend was at the other side of the mason where the entrance was, standing there. He turned off lights, and I know he was standing like on the other side, and I was in the middle of the basement. So I know he was over there, so there's no way that he could be near me at all. And I was standing in the middle of the room, and we were talking at all. And like at all, there was nothing happening. And I feel like somebody that's touching me, just like rubbing all against my back and like my shoulders and whispering in my ear. I could remember really what they were saying, but I feel literally hands on my body and some sort of whispering. While this was happening, I was like, huh, that's real funny. Like, can you have to stop doing that? Like, ha ha ha, like, I know you're doing this to me, like, just stop. Mind you, he was still on the other side of the basement. He was at the entrance. And there's no way that he could be whispering in my ear, directly in my ear, while he's on the other side of the room. So, no way. But I kept saying, like, that's really funny, huh? You can stop now. This is, like, not funny at all. This is, like, scary. But I felt that, I guess, presence for a little while. It was like a couple minutes, and I just felt like that motion of like rubbing and like feeling, and also like whispered in my ear. And I didn't turn around to look because I was confused and obviously scared, and I just like looked straight, and I didn't want to turn. I had my back against my friend, and I didn't want to turn. But I had a suspicion that obviously it couldn't be him because he was over there. How in the heck he would be in my ear if he was on the other side of the room? It wasn't his voice either. I can't explain the voice, if it was like male, female, whatever, but it was just like a soft whisper. After that lasted for maybe a couple minutes, I don't know, maybe a few seconds, it was, for me, it felt like a while. It stopped, and I was like, turn back the lights on. Like, he was there, like, when I, like, obviously said that, the lights went back on, and I could see him right there. He was at the entrance where the light was turned on, and it was over. I don't know what I did after, but I think I was, like, pretty creeped out and pretty, like, confused. He came back into, like, where I was in the middle, and then I guess we just went on about our day. I don't really remember what else happened. All I remember was how creepy that was, how confusing that was, and just the feel, and like the hair standing behind my back, like all the hair standing up, and that creepy feeling. I don't know if it could have been spirit, ghost, who knows? I don't know. All I can tell you, it was some sort of presence, and it was kind of creepy to me. It didn't feel harmful, I don't think, in any way, because it didn't have that feeling, not that I can think of. I didn't have that like bad feeling, but it's a creepy feeling. It's just weird. I might be lying. It might actually be him. It might actually be someone else. I don't know. All I know is that situation or time was creepy, weird, and a bit scary. Another story that I want to tell. This one is a funny story. This is not scary at all. I was 14 years old. I was with my friend Zach, and we went to the haunted corn maze that usually always happens every year in October. It's a huge corn maze that is creepy, kind of scary, and haunted, obviously. Back then, they just had like that corn maze, that haunted corn maze. I think also like the murder house. I'm pretty sure, because there wasn't much back then, but now there's like 3 different houses you can go to. Another house that's like a maze, the corn maze, like a lot more than they used to be. It was like pretty big. It would take like probably, at least if you want to do all of them, it would take like 30 minutes, maybe, perhaps more or less, depending if you're like literally running. Like back then, obviously never been to a haunted, like house haunted corn maze, never been to any of those things. So it was my first time, and I was kind of young with Zach, and I'm pretty sure we were with someone else. I think his parents were also there. We were waiting in line, and it was a pretty long line, as it always is every year. Every weekend is super busy. We probably waited for like 30 minutes or so. It was quite a while. And we like bought our tickets, and it was our turn to go into the maze. And so we went, obviously. I was kind of scared. He was definitely too. We just entered the maze, and it wasn't for like, I think it was like we were 5 minutes into the maze. There's a guy in a chainsaw that came out of the maze of the corn and started running at us. And we were beside each other, just walking. And when Zach saw him, like literally coming towards us, Zach literally pushed me out of the way, literally running, like full on, like just like sprinting, like bye, peace, never seeing you again. I think Chainsaw Guy just kept going. I don't know, because all I remember is me falling on the ground filled with mud on the ground. This was a day that it was like raining, or it did rain, and it was so muddy. I fell full on onto the ground, like mud everywhere. And I was left there, and Doug was like, he was gone. He was like all the way gone. And I was just there in the mud, and I was like, I love this for myself. I got up, literally, my jeans, my sweater, everything was filled with mud. I was filthy. I kept going. I think Zach stopped at a certain point. I met him there, and I was like, oh my god, what the like, what?
Why'd you do that?
Thinking back at it was quite funny. Because the way they were just like pushed me, like sprinted, and like just like was like gone. Yeah, that was pretty funny. We finished the maze together with my muddy ass clothes, and that was it. Love you, Zach. I hope you enjoyed those stories, and I wish you all a happy, spoopy Halloween. Peace.